Papa Pepper, 9-month dread update.
Alright guys, Papa Pepper here today. I'm just going to do I'm going to call it a 9-month dread update. Not sure exactly when I started these things, and kind of want just to kind of check in on them every like 6 months or so. So when I think they're about a year old, I'll do the next one. Then 18 months, then 24 months, and kind of progress from there. But we're going to call this one a 9-month right now, because I'm guessing that's about where they're at. Now, I'll show you a couple pictures from back when I started them, and give you just a little bit of background on them too. But pretty much the sides were shaved down to nothing, and I just had some stuff on top, which is why you'll see that the stuff on top is a lot longer than the stuff, you know, on the sides. This was shaved down to nothing. This was longer when I started them. Also, then I started them using two different methods. These are kind of more lead bottom is what I call them, and that's when you take it and you've got some hair already and you back comb the dreads and you kind of work them together to get them to dread up. So at the ends they're going to be a little bit thicker than what they actually grow out, because there was more hair there that was compacted. My hair was actually about this long or so when I started, and you know, it kind of compacted back that much, so that now this is the overall length of them. And then also I do blunt the ends of them rather than just kind of leaving them splayed or leaving them frizzy. I kind of work that back into them, and you know, periodically roll them up a little bit, but I really don't do too much of that anymore at this point. Now, for my adult life, I've spent probably over 15 years of an adult life, you know, having dreads. So a lot of times I tell people when they first start off, if you can make it through the first year, you know, you're going to be good, because that first year is going to be roughest. I remember sometimes looking at my hair and being like, man, this couldn't get any more messed up over the years with some different sets of dreads. And but now, I mean, it's pretty much, I know what I'm doing. I know how I like them. I know how I like to grow them. And this is just kind of how they go. A couple things that happened when I did start them off too. They were kind of, sometimes from the root, when you start them off, they're going to want to split. So you're going to have a chunk, you know, here tied together that's dreaded up, and then they're going to try to grow it into two little ones or something. So sometimes when I started, I just kind of snipped them off, like this one was snipped off, and there's some other ones that may be shorter up in here. Not sure if I can find a good example, but these are kind of some of the longest, bigger ones. And then what I did recently too, well, besides starting the top, like I told you, the stuff on the side, I just kind of rolled it. A lot of people use like a towel rub or something like that, but if you just rub really short hair together, it'll eventually knot up. Once hair is in a section, it's going to start growing. Whether you put it in a ponytail, whether you put it in dread, whether you put it in a braid, whatever it is, if you just, or whether you just kind of knot it up, if you let the hair go, it's going to form a dread. Once it's in a section, it's going to form a dread. One thing with dreads is that if you're not keeping them separated, they will grow together. I intentionally let some grow together. You see this guy's got 3 different ends here. Okay, so he's just going to grow it as one in the middle with 3 different ends. The guy right up here, you know, he's got 3 different ends too. And some different ones back here. When you let them grow together with like that, people often call that Congoing dreadlocks. You Congo them, you let them grow together. And you know, then you wind up where you got like split ends per se. Some of those I just kind of grabbed, and once you treat them like they're a group or like they're one, they'll grow together. Some of those, if you just kind of grab, if I took like these 3 here and just kind of started, you know, rubbing them together as they grew out and kind of treated them as one, they would form together. Or I could take them and braid them together and then just let them grow as one. This right here is 3 little guys back over here. You know, those I just braided, put them in a braid, let them go. I kind of Congoed those and let them all grow together right about the time we were moving the mobile home to the land. So you can see that's been, you know, it's been a minute, because we do have growth together of them coming in, all these 2. So, but just kind of mark that time in my life. I used to do that sometimes, and you can measure like, oh, that was that long ago. I don't know. But anyway, for having very straight hair that's not entirely thick, it's a pretty good set of dreads. And as they grow out, you know, and continue to mature, continue to form. Like I said, if you can make it past the first year, and of course mine are really set already, they're doing great, but for most people, if you can make it past the first year, you're going to really come into your dreads. They're going to really form up, lock up, shape up, and go from there. So this is what, like I said, not exactly 9 months of hair growth looks like. On the sides it almost is, but 9 months of dread anyway, from the hair I did have. So those are them. I don't know how many there is. The last set I had before these that I cut off was actually 234. It was just a pile of little ones, but this is going to be a lot less than that. So anyway, just a random dread update. Here's my dreads. Maybe I'll spin you around my head once here, huh? So that's them anyway. Alright, I got some gardening to do and some ghost peppers to try. So, alright, Papa out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.